This past weekend, we received some incredible news about Red Dead Online's upcoming DLC, which is scheduled to arrive before the year's end. In this interview between Rockstar Games and German gaming website GameStar, we got an exclusive inside look as to the action-packed shootouts, new role expansion, and additional content players will be able to sink their teeth into. My previous video from Sunday goes into all of that detail if you missed it, but today I think it's a good time we take a look at some other official Rockstar news from the past, plus new leaks, so we can try to fill in the blanks and decipher what exactly is coming next. In this video, we are taking a look at huge unreleased Red Dead Online content additions. So, if you enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. Let's start with official Rockstar news for the first half of the show, and then we can transition to the leaks later. In terms of unreleased content that Rockstar Games has explicitly mentioned and expressed interest in adding to the game world, we have a lawman expansion related to the bounty hunter role. This is coming from a VG247 interview after Frontier Pursuits released, and also included mentions of expanding photography in the game, which of course we see now as players in the form of an expanded story mode photo mode on all platforms, the naturalist role featuring photography challenge to complete the animal field guide, and then of course the soon to be announced winners of the naturalist photo community challenge. Design director for World and Progression at Rockstar said the following: utilizing the bounty system, the honor system, and tying that in with our roles in the future where players can be a villain, could join a gang, Butchered says, or decide to take the side of a lawman if we did something like that. When planning future roles and other content, we think about the world in key areas: exploration, capitalism, wildlife, nature, and pastimes and bounty hunting style activities, which are an offshoot of the law, depending on how honorable you play, Katie Pika adds. We love the idea that at some point a highly ranked bounty hunter could become a lawman. So far, the roles have touched on a few of those ideas, but there's a lot more to do. As expanded on in the recent interview over the weekend, this piece of content is most likely what we can expect for Rockstar's new action-packed shootouts coming into the game, as it's confirmed the update will feature new augmentations and extensions for an existing role. Bounty Hunter with an expansion for Outlaws and Lawmen is the far more likely candidate for an update for being action-packed compared to Collector, which is actually the next official piece of intel we need to discuss here. After Moonshiner's release, Rockstar stated that they wanted to take Collector a step further and introduce posse gameplay objectives and some type of property into the game. Communal spaces is what they said. We'd love to keep adding new collections and additional variety to Collector gameplay, eventually adding the next step, much in the same way that Moonshiner is the evolution of the Trader, Pika said. One idea we really want to explore is the idea of posse members each finding a distinctly different part of an item that when brought together forms the collectible you can log in your collection. In terms of a singular form of property, unlike the apartments and business hubs in GTA Online, Rockstar officially mentioned plans for social hubs in Red Dead Online. Some of the roles would let us introduce more feature-rich businesses and even communal spaces that players can gather and meet up socially. Lone wolves and full posses, said Tarek Hamad, maybe even let each player own part of such a space. Now, a few months ago, we went over the leaks for prices for personal properties players can own in Red Dead Online, and that is certainly different from what they're mentioning here. This is a good place to transition to the known leaks, though, that are not yet in-game. The leaked properties were initially discovered through Red Dead Redemption 2's companion app, but even before Red Dead Online ever launched. 10 properties were listed, followed by a placeholder number and placeholder value of $1,000. And after the Naturalist update released, we now know the current potential prices range from 45 gold bars to 600 gold bars for the Saint Denis Mansion. Vehicles were also included in the companion app leak as well. While we see all of these vehicles in-game, whether it's in free roam or even the War Wagon, for example, in the Land of Opportunities online story mission called Bring a Posse, they are in the game, just not for players to own. And as the new update nears, the possibility of being able to purchase these vehicles and wagons also increases. As for other unreleased content beats, there are two unreleased ability cards we have the artwork for and know the names of. One is a Dead-Eye ability card called a Person of Conviction, and a damage card called the Eternal Flame. We've speculated over what these cards could be and what they could be used for and what their abilities actually are, although there is no description accompanying these leaks from TesFun 2, and they could also be cut content at this point. Really, anything that is known but not officially announced by Rockstar could be cut content at the end of the day, and no one will know until it is announced or released. We haven't seen any new ability cards come into Red Dead Online since Frontier Pursuits in September of 2019, and while there have been major ability card adjustments, nerfs, and other changes as late as Moonshiners, we still haven't seen a new set of cards its release. Now, something worth mentioning is the 3 Stranger Mission givers that have not yet come into online as well: Tilly Jackson, Obadiah Hinton from Butcher's Creek, and one other that I forget off the top of my head, but at this point I think it's safe to say that those folks are cut content, unfortunately, because we have not seen new Stranger Mission givers added since the May 14th, 2019 spring update, and in that update we saw Sadie Adler, Black Bell, and the Aberdeen Pig Farm siblings get introduced to players. It would be nice though to see more Stranger Mission givers and more mission variety added, because as Rockstar plans to expand the roles in the future, Stranger Missions and dynamic events should be included in their portfolio as well. There's also nothing really in terms of announcements or leaks for the Land of Opportunity story missions. The final one leaves players on a cliffhanger, with the game giving us a text prompt after saying that our adventure has concluded for now. And again, while it's possible for the story missions to continue, this was before any of the roles were ever introduced to the game, and it seems like that is the direction Rockstar is choosing to go in. Moonshiners does feature the Land O'Shine Moonshine story missions, but those are of course intertwined with the role itself and only playable if you purchase the Moonshiner role so that you can start it up on your own. So if we ever see more storylines introduced, I'd say it's more than likely they will be locked behind a role that you have to purchase, as opposed to Rockstar dropping them and releasing them for every and all players to play anytime without any sort of buy-in that Rockstar is obviously trying to monetize here. Now, the private lobby game file mentions from last year are also still there, but I doubt we will see this anytime soon. Funny enough, on PC, if you are being targeted by a modder, they have the ability to create these private sessions of their own, and they're unable to be joined by anyone. So even with their mod menu, they can try to pull you into their private session, and you will be greeted with the alert saying that the session is private and you cannot join. Private lobbies and text chat are 2 publicly unreleased game features that modders are able to control and harness the power of, but the everyday player on PC cannot. There are also other small little things, game files, and even arrow types which are also unreleased, but again, those arrows, for example, date back to January of 2019 and the Gun Rush update, which we also discussed back then in a video, and they still haven't released yet, so probably won't ever be coming. But with all of that out of the way, that is all unreleased content, both officially from Rockstar and leaks from insiders and data miners for the game. We are getting well into the month of November as well, so expect official Rockstar Newswire announcements on the GTA Online and Red Dead Online DLC updates that are both scheduled for the end of the year, and then we will know for sure what is and what is not coming into the game in this next update. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it, and of course, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Red Dead Online, Red Dead Redemption 2, and even Rockstar games as a whole. We'll be sure to keep you guys up to date with updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I practically live on all 3 of those websites, and you can feel free to strike up a conversation or even ask me a question. Whatever it may be though, you can follow me at Hazardous HDTV, and all of my social media links, including my Discord, can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.